Welcome to What If We Can Change It All, the podcast.
A podcast created by Movement.Medicine.
My name is Sherise.
And my name is Gianine.
We believe that we have the power and therefore we can change it all.
This podcast is all about reclaiming your power. Hello, lovely people, and welcome to our next episode. Today is just us, and we just wanted to share a little something because we introduced ourselves and stuff, but we never really explained what we do, and we do a lot actually.
Yes.
We mainly want to talk about movement medicine and like why it was founded, but also the really root that we believe in and that we want to like give to our clients, right? The people that we work with. So yeah, let's start.
Yeah, so I think movement medicine birthed like 2 years ago.
Is it 2 years?
I think 2 years.
Oh.
And it started actually, it started after me doing a lot of studies and then hosting workshops. And then my sister said like, I can actually like help you so I can learn from you. And so we did that. And then we actually learned that we work very, very well together.
Which is very important.
Yes. So I think what happened during the first workshop together, where she was just helping me, what came to the surface was that I just have to look at her and she understands me, right? And vice versa. So I was mostly hosting the workshop, but she was like really my right hand and well, basically everything. So after doing that, I think twice, I was like, well, actually, I think we can grow together and like do more together and like reach more people and like really combine our powers, right? So after she did like a lot of studies, I did like a lot of studies, and we were like, okay, we need to like make this real. So that's how we started Movement Medicine. And I think the name came, and then you can talk again. But the name started because, well, as you know, we are, or maybe not, but as you maybe know, we are both professional dancers. And so after starting like doing all of these studies and diving deeper into our own personal healing journeys, we found out that a lot of we did in our dance education and then like being a professional dancer is also very healing. The difference is though that being a professional dancer, you don't approach it as healing, but just as you doing your job, right? Or you doing the exercise or whatever, how you want to call it. And so when you change the intention, there's actually a huge healing component there. And so that's kind of how the name started, right? Movement and medicine, and that everything is movement and thus medicine. And maybe you can now explain about the other part of that.
Yeah, and I think tapping into the movement medicine part, what is really important and what we both very stand for is that at a certain point it kind of became like a hype to like use dance as a tool, right? Because there is so much healing in it because it's moving energy in different ways. And what we both stand for is like using that what the body already knows and adding like ancient wisdoms with that, because it is for us, it is really important to also know exactly how to support someone and actually hold someone and not just like letting them move in certain ways. And that's it, right? Because for us, holding space is like almost like the biggest part of like what we do, because well, it also can be quite dangerous if like there's not someone to hold you, right? If something comes up. So yeah, I started that as her assistant. I even let her pay me, I think. I was like, if I'm gonna be your assistant, I want to get paid. And I actually really loved that because at that time I was already like going into the self-development work and like really going in my own journey, and like combining our knowledge together was like such an eye-opener for me, because Sherise did all of these studies and I did all of these studies, and combining them two was like so powerful because we both did a lot, right? And like have different angles about healing and like wisdom, and that really worked very well. And I think what we noticed is that because we actually started with doing in-person workshop and then we didn't do one for like very long. And what we actually noticed is that there was also like an urge from like clients and people that we worked with to actually know like the background stories and like all the knowledge behind it, because you also want people to support themselves. You just don't want to only facilitate it for them like one day every month. No, you also want them to like take this journey with them home, like, and actually give them tools to support themselves, to hold themselves, and to release stuff. So that is something that is really, really important to us. So that's also why we started like first a 3-month program, then an 8-month program. So we could really support people in their journeys and really give them that consistency that we don't always have as human beings, because sometimes it gets a bit scary and then we just stop showing up actually.
Yeah, and I think another component of the name is that movement is also like everything is energy, so everything is moving, right? So
Yeah.
that's like a little other like nameplay, I would say, with that. And that so energy is also healing, right? So energy, medicine, well, whatever. And what I wanted to say is that I think movement medicine really stands for another thing. Movement medicine really stands for reclaiming your power, and that is as big as you can make it, right? It's in reclaiming your power and truly stand for who you are, truly let yourself seen, right? But it's also in reclaiming your power in understanding how the body works, how the mind works, how spirit works, right? So it's like reclaiming your power on all aspects. And I think that's really important, because I think we often don't even realize how much we give our power away, actually, and how much we give it away in, I don't know, going to a dentist, right? Or going to a doctor. I'm not saying that that is bad and that Western medicine is bad, but sometimes we just give ourselves out of hands and they're just like, you need to fix me. You need to know what's wrong with me. And then I can just take the pills, right? And again, nothing wrong with Western medicine. But I think there's like a deeper layer in understanding why something happens to you, right? Because when you understand that why something happens to you, you actually understand that it's happening for you and that there's like a bigger lesson underneath. And so it's really like movement medicine is really there to guide you, to help you understand yourself, to help you see that you're actually whole always, although we can heal, right? Although there are always aspects in our bodies that can like release and heal and be nourished more on a deeper level, we're always whole. And with that, that's already a sense of like reclaiming your power and truly understanding yourself.
I think you said that beautifully. And I think it is important to mention is that we believe in a combination of both worlds, because we both love science. Like a lot of studies that we did are also, there's science included in all of it, right? So we feel like there's like a perfect combination in both worlds, and like Western medicine and ancient medicine, like whatever it is. But by like combining the two, you're like, I don't know, it's just like, I'm like thinking how I'm gonna say this. It's just like, you have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? No. It's just, I think it's just like, because we as people always want to know what is wrong with us, but we don't really want to know the why, right? And by finding out the why, we can actually go deeper into that and go deeper into the root issue and stop actually preventing it from happening again. So we're not only treating the symptoms, we are treating the core, right? And if that, I don't know, paracetamol helps for that day, that's perfectly fine. But also go underneath, okay, why am I getting the headaches? Why am I like distressed, right?
Yeah, I think it's about understanding the why, but it's not about finding the why.
Yes.
Because when you understand the why, you can go to the root, right? When
Yeah.
you just want to know the why, it's just a way of actually like getting your attention to something else and like creating again this busy mind and wanting to fix something. So it's really about understanding the why and where the roots are, where the core is in your system, and why this is happening. For example, when you have a disease, right, which is actually something in your body being out of like harmony, and or like, I don't know, it can go, it's also like stress, right? It's also like feeling overwhelmed. It's also having like a physical symptom, having an injury. Like all of it is all connected. And so when you understanding this, like this root cause, this why it's happening, like what's the symptom telling me, then you understand truly what's happening inside, right? And then you understand also, or we help you maybe understand, like with all the knowledge we have and share, why it's happening to you and how to like move away from it, how to bring it back in harmony, right? How to find that balance within your soul, within your body, because when there's harmony here, then there's harmony outside.
I think that's a beautiful one. When there's harmony inside, there's also harmony outside, right? Something like I was like listening to something this morning, and something that she said to me is that you can't attract what you lack, right? And I think that is something is really, really important, because if you don't have that harmony in your inside, in your inner world, how are you gonna find the harmony in your outside world, right? So that's why we truly believe that it always starts within, but also that we have the power within, and that we can actually reclaim that power, because that is something really big for us both.
Yeah, and I think we both really experienced that when we started like truly really working on ourselves, right? And really really dare to go deep, because there are like also certain levels, and like not one of the levels is wrong, right? It's also where you're at in your journey, and we all need like this like cycles to finish. But like when you truly dare to dive deep within, and when you feel ready to dive deep within and see that like shadow part or whatever, like the darker part of you, um it makes your outside world different, and your whole life becomes different. And this maybe sounds like, ooh, it sounds like, I don't know, I don't know, whatever it can sound like, but it's the truth, right? Like we experience it both. We have seen like our clients change. We have seen like when there's like a change inside, you will attract different things. Meaning this isn't only connected to manifesting your dream life, right? It's not only connected to manifesting the money, the people, the partners, the whatever. It's a part of it, but it's not. I don't want to say it's the aim goal. I think for me the main goal, for me the main goal is to just be happy, right? And to feel free. And I think when that's there, then all the other things will just come like naturally. And when we start feeling this like inner joy, this inner peace, this inner happiness, this inner freedom, then this is also what we receive back from the outside world, right? So when I'm happy, the people I meet or encounter with in the streets are smiling at me. When I have like this dark cloud around me, then, well, mostly I don't receive those smiles, right? Which is fine, because it's also good, and we also have those sides. And I'm not making them worse, because it's life. We go up and down, and it's all good and it's all healthy, as long as we treat it in a healthy way. And so it's really about understanding, let's say, the machine you are, right? Understanding how this works, how you work, and then change that in a way how you want to live. And I think for me that's where the manifestation starts, because when that's there, when it's ready, then the other things will come. And maybe that still has some work, right? And we still have the limiting beliefs and all of that, but we first need to like have this. I don't want to say we first have to, but in my opinion, mostly when this is happy and when this is working in a right way, and when it's like in balance and in harmony, and this doesn't mean that it's 24/7 in harmony, because this is not possible, then it also shows in your outer world. And this is, I think, another like aspect of movement medicine, like understanding that whole principle of energy. Like really, it's all energy moving through you and around you. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I think something that we both experience in our lives is that sometimes we are so focused on the things that we want to achieve that we forget that the things that are underlaying that, and that's often something totally different than we think it is, right? So just like my sister said, the first thing that we go to is like the external things, right? Like the money, the relationship, the this, the that, right? But at the end, all what we want is peace, to be happy, to live a free life. That's all we want as humans, right? So as soon as you like start to understand that this is actually what I want to work on, then and then you see how that ripples out to the rest of your life, then it is actually pretty easy to attract those things.
And then also there's like the fine timing, right? Because we can't force it. There's no like time limit on our healing journey, on how long a manifestation can take and may take and have to take. I think it's also about enjoying the journey and enjoying all the lessons and all that's coming with that. And and that doesn't mean that there is no pain, that there are no tears, that there is no whatever, right? It's all there, and that's the human experience as well. It's the human experience to understand that there is also like the negative sides, and or the, let's say, the negative side, which isn't necessarily negative, if that makes sense. It doesn't mean that it is bad. It means that it's, well, actually, we gave it so much meaning that we made it bad, and that we see it as bad and whatever. But it's very healthy and natural to cry and to be angry and to show that with the world, actually. So that's also a way of reclaiming your power, actually.
It's about our own judgment and our own stories
Yeah.
that we put onto the things, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's a bit about movement medicine, or why we started it at least. And so what we do, maybe we should talk about that as well. We have some in-person workshops, like once in a while when we feel like it. Actually, we organize in-person workshops, and we both give one-on-one healing sessions. We both have one-on-one healing journeys, which is more like mentorship journeys where there's like a deeper guidance. And we have an 8-month program, which is really about understanding. It's a way through the chakras, but it's really about understanding how everything works, why the traumas are there, how they like started, why they started, and how to release them as well. And I think in all that we do is really about understanding and then releasing, right? So it's about not getting stuck in the why. It's about not getting stuck in stories. It's about understanding and then reprogramming it, because we're able to be reprogrammed, right? We forget that we have a certain program, and that's like kind of influencing our whole life and the way we are and the way we be and the way react and act and handle and la la la. But actually, when we start to reprogram the parts that we don't like that much, we can actually become more in line with our core essence, because mostly all the lack, all the limits, all that's actually connected to programming that's not so much in your favor, and so to limiting beliefs, and we can change that. And actually, when we change that, actually our path becomes more and more clear, because we are really connected to our core essence, and thus we react and act from that place, which is a beautiful place, actually.
Yeah, and I think it's good to mention also is that this like 8-month program that we're about to launch, actually, which is very exciting. It's like we before had a 3-month program and it was already so successful, but we also noticed that it wasn't enough time to like tap on all the things that we actually wanted to give to like the participants. Doesn't mean that it was bad, it was really good, but it was also like a lot to digest in just 3 months, right? And I think what is so interesting and so special about our 8-month program is that we already go through it all, but we also have like time for integration and also things that you can do on your own time. It's like, for us, it's like the perfect balance between the masculine and the feminine, and actually combining those into like a learning space or like a self-development space, because we truly believe that healing doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be bad. It doesn't have to be dark. It is okay if it is dark, but it also can be fun. And that is something that we are both like the biggest cheerleaders for, because you can also allow it to be fun, right? And like that's something that we really want to like give also, because just because actually
I think because there's a lot of we created a lot of rules about healing and about, especially about our health, and especially when it's not that optimal, right? In what sense it is, right? It's still with the injury, with the headspace, with diseases. Like we created like this stigma of that it needs to be hard to come out of it, and that we need to have a lot of pain to come out of it, even if we have just it's not just, but if you just have an injury, right? There's like a lot of like, it also takes a lot of mental space. And actually, when we can see that, can truly feel that as well, but then also allow it to be fun, it's different, and it's helping you, it's connecting you, and it's bringing you to your next level, basically, and it's changing your patterns. And yeah, just creating fun is actually how I think we want to live.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Like life can also be like a game that you have with yourself and with other people, right?
Yes.
I think that's really important.
Or a dance.
Or a dance.
Whatever you want to call it.
So our 8-month program will launch
September 18th.
Thank you so much for that, because I was just no. September 18th. We're also going to do some like free events, which is going to be amazing because we actually love doing free stuff. So we're going to do some free events, which we share like knowledge that we have, but also like give you little snippets about what we actually going to do with our input program. So yeah, I would say stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Thank you so much for listening. If you have questions about movement medicine or about what we do exactly, or what studies we did or whatever, feel free to always reach out. Our DM/email is always open. Thank you also so much for being so connected with us and listening to our podcast. We also highly appreciate that. Yeah, we have a newsletter, so if you really want to stay tuned, join our newsletter.
Yeah.
That's it. I think for now, that's enough promotion for now. Thank you so much. And enjoy your day. And yeah, we see/hear/share with you soon.
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 Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao.